Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our content that we have today. So welcome to Platform Analytics Academy. We thank everyone for joining. If you are a returner, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Hopefully we're able to give you some great content and a new landing place for yourself for every couple of weeks, maybe lunch or breakfast or dinner, wherever you happen to be in the world. So we're going to get directly into the content so we can take advantage of all the time that we have. So as usual, this is always for you. We try as hard as we can to bring fresh ideas and better understanding and practical guidance as it relates to platform analytics, performance analytics, reporting, all of those different tastes there to you as much as we can on these sessions. This is being recorded, so don't feel like that you have to take notes, although if you want to, that's great, but just know that it is recorded. The presentation will be actually attached to the community event as well. It'll be in our community. It'll be in YouTube. It'll all be there for you as a reference tool for you going forward in the future. Q&A, please ask questions. If you can, use the Q&A rather than the chat. We do have others on that are monitoring that are not actually presenting today. But we have other panelists and coworkers of mine that are here to answer questions. And if they can do that via type, they'll do that. If there is a question that comes up that maybe is relevant to where we are within the content, sometimes we do stop and get that question answered. If not, we'll definitely try to get to all of them at the end of the presentation demo. If there is a question that is unrelated to the content that we are covering today, feel free to ask those as well. If we can get those answered via type, we'll do that. If we have enough time at the end to answer that aloud, we'll do that as well. So safe harbor. So today we're actually talking about what's new in Washington. So this is probably a good thing to have, although it may be released to some of you already. You may already have it. You may have already upgraded. I don't know where you're at, but let's make sure that we just include the safe harbor notice just for any of that information. So please keep the safe harbor in mind as you listen to the content that we are covering today. As usual, my name is Thomas Davis. I am the host, and today I have RJ and Serena on. They are both going to do some presenting and also some demoing. And as usual, I have my great coworkers on as well, Tara and Dan. Adam may be here if he's not already on, and they will answer questions whenever they can via type and also live as well as if they can. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about what's new in Washington as it relates to platform analytics. So with that, RJ, if you're ready, you can definitely grab it.
All right. Can you hear me?
Can hear you. Yep.
All right. Cool. And I'm sharing the screen now.
Yes, you are.
All right. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, everyone, for joining this session. Welcome to the, like Thomas mentioned, what's new in Washington for platform analytics. Maybe first a quick question to you, Thomas. Is it a coincidence that we do this session in the week of President's Day?
I've never actually correlated that to it, but I guess this year it would be even more of a deal. So absolutely. So looking right there at where the presidents do many things. So here we are as Washington. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Thanks. Yeah. It's. I was thinking about it today, and actually, as a non-U.S. citizen, I was looking into the history of President's Day, and I learned today that actually President's Day is a celebration as of George Washington's birthday, who is actually his birthday would be tomorrow on February 20th. So still there, the history by a non-US citizen. I'll now talk about platform analytics in Washington. So today, Serena and I will be taking you through this journey of Washington, what we've been doing, the product value that we hope to deliver for you in Washington. As Thomas also mentioned, some of you might already be on it, maybe in one of your subprods, maybe through early access. I believe officially the date is March 20 for GA, for general availability. Thomas showed this one, so I will quickly skip it. Pretty easy agenda. I'll kick it off with some generic information on our strategy, and the strategy always evolves in the themes that we are using for a certain for our product development, for a certain family release to really solve upon the needs that we hear, the ask that we hear from you, and the problems that you might have. And then in about 10-15 minutes, I will hand it over to my amazing colleague, Serena, who will actually take you through the product by doing the demos of all the features and capabilities on how they were actually built. So as mentioned, product delivery always follows for us, a family release plan. That family release plan is based on a release strategy that's, of course, based on our platform analytics strategy. And actually, end of the day, that strategy is defined by you as our customers, by the feedback that you delivered, anything that we hear from you directly, that my co-workers here in this call, the panelists hear from you in the conversations that we have, the one-on-one meetings that we have. Maybe some of you are design partners, maybe some of you are part of the product advisory council, maybe some of you are part of research, maybe you mentioned something in communities or idea portal. There are so many things. Or even this academy session, of course. This academy session is a great source of information, of feedback that we hear, that we immediately register, and that through prioritization, hopefully finds it in a certain release. So my say would always be, keep that information coming, keep that ideation running, because those things are, we are looking at those things, and those things are coming into the product. As mentioned, themes, we typically don't take too many themes, mostly because we want the value that we deliver to be like a deep enough value. We don't want something that's so shallow that you might not even notice, or is super limited. So for Washington, the high-level themes that we've been thinking of were those around, of course, the transition to platform analytics experiences. We talked about that one a lot in these academy sessions over the last half year. We looked a lot at performance, and then there's of course, the innovation that we want to do, the platform analytics innovation. On the first one, there's, of course, the migration. So the Washington release will bring you that, basically that main ask that we heard from you when it comes to the new platform analytics experiences, which is, when can we use it with our own data? So Washington is the first release that we allow you to opt in to do the migration of your own analytics content towards those platform analytics experiences. Now, of course, you can already start using many of those features and capabilities without migrating. It's actually considered a good practice to already get familiar. So in case that you have some new charts that you need to build, or a new project, or something that you need a dashboard for, always consider it as a good practice to do it actually as part of the, for example, new platform analytics dashboard solutions. They are already there as of Tokyo. So Tokyo, Utah, Vancouver, they were part of what we back then called the platform analytics workspaces. Now with Washington, it will all be part of what we call directly in the menu, platform analytics, and then, for example, dashboards or data visualizations. But end of the day, to really uptake, to really basically transition into these new experiences, to really adopt, you mentioned to us, we need our own content there. We heard that loud and clear. We would never fully adopt if we don't have our own analytics data, our own PA widgets that we created over all those years, our own reports, the existing dashboards, if they aren't there. We absolutely don't expect you to recreate everything. So therefore, this migration tool. Then there's feature improved, and I actually always call it feature improved, simply as I feel it needs to be better than before. So with platform analytics, we have the opportunity now to deliver something that's the same level of capability, same level of feature, but we can deliver it in a better way. So not just one-to-one replicate the existing, but immediately, with the goal to have feature parity or something, but to really improve the creation as well as the consumption of analytics charts and add more features. For example, those things that we heard again from feedback coming through the meetings that we had, or maybe through the idea portal. And then the third one here is enablement. And that's the enablement that we are doing to support you with the move. We acknowledge, although the new experience is, I believe, better in every shape and form, and it's easy to learn, it's still a quite functional change for you. And you need to be ready to, for example, get your organization ready for platform analytics experiences. So we want to help you with that transition. We did talk about this in many of the previous academy sessions, already, you can always rewatch those. And actually a month ago, I think it was mid-January, that I presented what we call the enablement toolkit that we have in the community to actually support you with that learning, with videos, but also a lot of PowerPoints that you can actually download to reuse for your own enablement material. Then on to the next, being performance. So for this one, it doesn't go. Yeah, there it goes. In general, the performance requirements that we follow, they're all about being having scalable data sets. Something that we really wanted to was have some more strong focus on maybe some more reactive needs on when you might already be experiencing some performance issues. For example, on dashboards with many analytics charts on them, or maybe on single reports that might use large tables or some complex querying conditions within them. We looked at it, and the fact is we can actually benefit by using some caching mechanisms, especially for when your end users are often requesting the same data output and like the same queries and consuming the same type of dashboards in a relative same period. So caching can actually help there, where we can now allow you to set that caching expiration time for data information that is maybe not critical, that you don't need to have real time, and really help you there on the generic performance. I believe the next Academy session in 2 weeks will actually be fully on this.
Yes, it is.
Nice. The next one being new analytical model. We mentioned this one also in previous Academy sessions. We want to move into a new way of like a new data model for analytics data that increases the performance around retrieving, querying data, especially the data over time for those performance analytics use cases. And the work there is still ongoing. This is a super large project where we have that new model, and we really want to allow for the next step of data querying capabilities and needs. For example, the needs that you might have on high volumes of data, scalable data that you need to query fast and that you need to query in detail. This model that we are building should over time fulfill those needs around things like the intraday analytics. So having scores within the day, one of the asks that we often heard. Maybe some complex time zone type of queries, maybe calculations. And absolutely the one that we mention here on the third bullet, the one that we hear often is, of course, allowing the world beyond the second level breakdown. So MLB, or multiple levels of breakdown, as it's mentioned here, is the first main feature we want to actually deliver from this model, where we want to allow you these many levels of breakdowns to filter within your analytics data. Now, I gotta immediately honestly say that it's not ready yet. I'm mentioning it here because I do want to be transparent on the themes that we are working on during Washington. And yes, this one is working. We are actually trying things out internally, and some of you might have already seen it. Those that are part of the limited access program for multiple levels of breakdown, you might have already seen it in action. But unfortunately, you're not ready for shipment yet. The reason that it's not ready yet is pretty simple. The multiple levels of breakdown technically, of course, works directly on the indicator. And indicators within performance analytics have many features. They have lots of features within the complete performance analytics portfolio. So most work for us currently is to really make sure it works in all those performance analytics use cases. And we're adding more use cases as we go along, hopefully can get it ready soon. And then the third one, moving into innovation. Innovation is something that we always want to do, going really next level on analytics. And something that you will also see Serena demo in a bit is what we call proactive insights. There we go. And this is a super powerful feature that surfaces those analytics insights directly into your dashboard UI, or maybe as part of your own created apps or workspaces that you might be using. It really is there to support you as end users to actually understand what's going on, to surface the meaningful insights from the data directly inside your view for you to consume. And then, of course, once it's a meaningful insight for you to take action on. And then actually
we will have an academy on that April 17th.
Nice. Perfect. And I just mentioned action on actions or actionability in general. Not just those insights are actionable, but with Washington, there's this also this amazing new capability. It's almost, it kind of feels hidden away in the power of Workflow Studio, but it really brings on what we as platform analytics are all about. It brings that to life, to have analytics triggers to actually bring analytics triggers into workflow actions. So this is the first step into something huge and something that we always talked about. I know that Adam and Dan and Tara always talked about when we think about analytics, it's all about you're transitioning data into information, into meaningful insights, and then you want to take action on. And we have a super powerful platform with integrated analytics and with a performance analytics type of capability within. How powerful would it be if we can just surface insight and we can actually, through things like Flow Designer or Workflow Studio, programmatically say what needs to happen first. I think because it's so heavily integrated within Flow Designer, the possibilities here are limitless. All right. Quickly on migration, this is like I mentioned, this is a big one in our Washington delivery. Yet we will actually not touch upon it in today's demo. The reason is it is pretty big, maybe too much for today's time, and it would not be fair to all the other features that Serena is going to show. Plus, it might also not be super relevant for some of you immediately, and mostly also because we've already done many sessions over it for the last few months, which of course you can easily rewatch. Plus, I think there's also a dedicated new one on March 20, where Mark and the team will actually take you through the latest on that Migration Center. So there's a specific Academy session on Migration Center. The goal here is still the same. We have the Migration Center to really allow you to move your analytics content over to what we call the new platform analytics experiences. And with that, to really start utilizing those improved analytics capabilities. We mentioned it before, this is of course something that you need to plan and to test and get your organization really enabled for. That is regardless of when you're gonna do the migration. That's actually something that we believe you should start in some shape or form already. So think about what you need to do in order to be transitioning towards platform analytics. I mentioned it that during Tokyo, Utah, and Vancouver, many of those features, they were already there. So they're not, in that sense, they're not new. They were then in what we call the platform analytics workspaces. And back then, the messaging that we mentioned was always get familiar with them, start using them. If you have a new report or if you have a new dashboard that you want to create, consider doing it there. Get a feeling, get your toe in the water. That messaging is now with Washington changing more and more into consider and plan your move, your transition. Again, we're not forcing you directly in Washington. It is an opt-in, but we hope that you will just have a plan around it. And maybe a good practice in Washington is to run a migration in a subroute and have your power users actually test out the migrated content there, get a good feeling on it, and maybe there's a new project that you are about to start, and then consider building the analytics around that product, those dashboards actually inside platform analytics experience. There is one big update though, and you might have already heard and seen it. So far, the approach was always Washington will be the opt-in. Xanadu will actually be the release, the default for where we, for net new customers coming into Xanadu, they will actually only get platform analytics experiences. For existing customers, for you as upgrading customers, it is still an opt-in during the Xanadu release. And then Yokohama was the release that we, upon upgrade, we wanted to actually move and migrate the content for you during the upgrade. You might have seen in the official communication that we sent out that we made the decision to extend the forced upgrade with one release into Zurich. So with that, the generic goal doesn't change. We still want to move forward and have, of course, all customers utilize the best that we have to offer from analytics. But we extended it now to Z, being that first release that upon upgrade, we will migrate the content for you to new experiences. The Zurich being then, I think, Q4 2025, most likely that will be somewhere 2026 for you when you uptake. Now, the reason we extended the period on upgrade is actually twofold. One is we heard your feedback to have at least like 3 releases between the official marketing and messaging that we've sent out, to just get a little bit more time for that preparation, to get that plan, to get that enablement done. If you frequently visit this Academy session, you of course already know it longer, at least for half a year, and maybe already longer than that. But official communication just went out a few weeks ago, and with that we're saying Xanadu, Yokohama, and Zurich are those 3. The second reason actually is a little bit more internal. We want to go through it ourselves. It's what I think, and again, I'm not a native US, but I think it's called something like dog fooding, eat your own dog food, is what I believe is that phrase. And what I mean with that is internally we have multiple instances, and actually 3 big ones, and we consider those instances our own customers. We call them our now customers, or our customer 0. And what we're actually currently in the phase of is going through that planning and migration together with them. And of course, we want to learn from those experiences. We want to fine-tune the migration where it might still be necessary, and then still with Xanadu offer the 3 release timeline for you as our customers. Okay, enough about me. I'll hand it over to Serena for the demo. To take us through all the new features and capabilities. So Serena, if you are ready, you can take over the screen and take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, I can.
Perfect. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Today, I will be giving you a demo of the new exciting features that we have for Washington release for Platform Analytics Experience. So let's get started. The first change we made for Washington is how you actually access Platform Analytics Experience. So now you will be able to access our Platform Analytics Experience from the All menu instead of the workspace. So we really wanted to bring Platform Analytics Experience offering under a single roof, which is our Analytics Center. And from here, you are also able to directly access the library pages for the different analytics artifacts. So all you have to do is simply to type in Platform Analytics, and you can navigate where you want to go. I want to open my dashboard for today's demo, which is this one. So here you go. Hope everyone can see the dashboard. Washington highlights. We have quite an extensive list of new features. I will start by introducing new dashboard options for Washington. First of all, we introduced here in the info dashboard panel from the editing view, the possibility to have owner and owner group visible and editable for your dashboard. Another other exciting features that we introduced is dashboard refresh at dashboard level. So you can see here that you can refresh your current tab from this button, so you don't have to do it from the browser button on top, but you can do it directly from here. There are a few other features for dashboard refresh that you can see from the, again, editing experience, opening the dashboard settings panel from this cogwheel button. So you can see here that now as a user, if you have editing rights to the dashboard, you can enable refresh information. This information will basically tell you when the dashboard was last refreshed and show you the recency of the data, basically. Moreover, if you are a dashboard administrator, you can also schedule repetition. So you can decide how often your dashboard will be automatically refreshed. And you can set up a refresh interval of 10 minutes or more. So again, you wouldn't have to refresh every time manually, but you can do it automatically with this option if you're a dashboard administrator. As Roberten was mentioning, I won't really go in depth for caching since we have another Academy session in the future. But you can also now enable data cache and set up a cache expiration time from this panel here. And this, again, can really improve the performance of your data. And again, if you can enable data cache if maybe you don't need really live data, and if you do, you can simply refresh your dashboard to get the newest data. This is for data refresh, our new options. We also have presentation options. You can now choose a specific background color for your dashboard. You can personalize in different way your dashboard to make your analytics stand out more. And you can customize also single tabs. So you can really personalize your dashboard as you wish. The other section I will go through later because it's really connected to the new proactive analytics feature. And I will show you in a second. So this is our new dashboard options, again, accessible from editing mode and from dashboard settings. So again, I'm in view mode now. And you can see from here when my dashboard was last refreshed, which I enabled from the dashboard settings panel. So a new, really exciting feature that we introduced in Washington is proactive analytics insights. Now we make available in your dashboard these insights, and you can really consume with no effort insights for your data from here. We really give it to you. So these insights are based on performance analytics KPI events. And the goal here is really to surface what you should focus on and what you should take action on. What you can do, for example, when opening your insight panel, one common action is then to go to the KPI details page and analyze further your data more in depth. It's really easy, again, to surface information here. You can filter for all KPIs, or if you want to focus on a specific KPI, you can filter from this drop down here. And you can also filter for critical KPIs and what you didn't read yet. So again, this really makes your dashboard actionable. You have to take really no effort into getting the insights you need to improve your processes and services, because everything is available from the dashboard insight panel, or as Roberten was mentioning, in case also from your workspace experience. One thing I didn't mention is that to set it up, KPIs should run on a daily frequencies, and then you're all set to see your valuable insights. Another really interesting feature, which is actually linked to proactive insights, is that now you can build an automated workflow based on proactive analytics insights and proactive analytics events. For example, you may want to get a notification if a goal that you set wasn't reached. And all you have to do is to access the Workflow Studio from here in the all navigation menu. You can see the flows you already have, and you can simply create a new flow from here. So you can click on new and select flow. I will choose a name and start building my flow. So again, it's really easy to build a workflow based on a proactive analytics trigger. First of all, you have to choose a trigger. What we have now under application is indeed proactive analytics. So you can choose proactive analytics. And for the triggers, we have 6 out-of-the-box triggers. For example, I want to get a notification if a specific target that I set has been missed. You can see from here all the conditions that must be met for the trigger to happen. You have to choose the indicator that you want to focus on. Could be number of open incidents, for example. And you can decide to activate the trigger when the target is missed by, for example, a gap greater than 5. You can set up criticality, event date, and basically your trigger is created. The next step is to create an action resulting from your trigger by simply clicking add an action and action. So we have an extensive list of possible actions. Maybe you want to get your notification by message or email. Email, for example, is a common use case. And from here, you can set up an email to a specific persona with a specific subject and body to get that gets sent when your indicator number of open incidents missed the target with a gap greater than 5. So you can see this is really how you build an automated workflow triggered by proactive analytics. It's really simple, and it really allows you to be proactive in how you work and to make your business decisions on time. So these are all the really nice features for proactive analytics. So now I can go back to my dashboard, and I will go on with the other list of new features. So I hope there are no live questions, but another really requested and liked feature is cascading filters. We already delivered cascading filters in Vancouver. What we delivered in Vancouver was a simple cascading relationship. And for Washington, we actually deliver an additional feature on top of that, which is the many-to-many relationship. So in general, the use case for cascading filters is to link filters to one another, to make filters follow each other. So I will give an example of a simple cascading filter relationship. For example, I want to know how work is going for Beth. I have this manager filter, so I can see all the managers, and I want to focus specifically on Beth. So I can apply my filter, and I already made my my filters cascading, so they are already following each other. And you can see here that the group filter is filtered by one manager value. So my selection in the manager filters is filtering the choice list for my group filter. In this case, Beth is managing both hardware and service desk groups. So I can filter for these groups and apply. Of course, if I don't want this choice, I can just clear filters, and it would clear my selection also from the manager filter. So again, this is a simple cascading filter relationship. one manager can, of course, own multiple groups, but usually one group has one manager. And this is what we delivered in Vancouver. It could also be the case instead that a record in one filter table can match multiple values in another table, but also the other way around. So the target table record matches multiple records in the source table. I can give, again, a quick example. So I have my group filter here, and I want to know how things are going for the service desk group. Can apply my filter. User filter is following my group filter, and I would see the users that are part of service desk group. And clearly, again, you can see from here that it's filtered by one group value. But as I was saying, the many-to-many relationship entails that the other way around is also possible. So in this case, I want to focus on work for Fred. But also Fred, the selection of a user in the user filter group can influence the possible choice list for the group filter. So Fred is part also of multiple groups. So in this case, a group record can have multiple users, and vice versa. A user can be part of multiple group records. And this is exactly what we introduced in Washington. So the possibility to have this many-to-many relationship. So filters to follow one another. And we made the configuration of these filters really simple and straightforward. So you can configure these filters from the filter configuration panel. All you need to do is select a filter source and data to filter, and the system will recognize which filters you can follow. This directly connected filter option is for the simple relationship that I explained at the beginning. All you need to do is to toggle on. So again, the configuration is really simple. While this second section, filters with table connection, is for this many-to-many relationship. Again, very simple. All you need to do is to toggle on and select a connecting table that will have matching records. So we really improve the experience, and we made configuration and consumption of these filters really easy and handy for you. And you're all set up to go to filter your dashboard and get deeper insights with cascading filters and simple cascading relationships, so one-to-many, but also many-to-many, delivered in Washington. So this is what's new for filters in Platform Analytics Experience. We also have quite some new.
Serena, can I interrupt you right there? Because before we move on from filters,
Absolutely.
did have one question I think would be good to answer live, because I think a lot of people are going to have this. The question was: is cascading filters available for breakdown filters used in PA indicators, and PA reports in the PA dashboard? So my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is yes, but still with the 2 levels limitation for breakdowns. So I could select one element and say that if the manager and group in your example were both for, if they were PA indicators, I could do that for a manager breakdown and then the affiliate and then a group breakdown for that manager potentially. But that's as far as I could go. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if Robert, Jan, maybe or Marta have more insights to share on that.
I think that's correct. Or Marta, please feel free to tell us we're wrong, but I think that's correct also for breakdown.
Yeah, that's also what I know as of now.
Good, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Carry
Any
on, thanks.
other question on filters?
We're working on them through the list. Right? You can just continue.
Okay, Perfect. Thank you. Okay. As I was saying, we also have improvements for our charts, and we also introduced in Washington a new chart for platform analytics experience. So maybe I will go through that first. So we introduced Pareto chart for platform analytics experience. So you can now use it in your platform analytics experience dashboards. So Pareto chart is simply a bar chart with columns in descending order. It's topped by this cumulative percentage line, this red line, and it really shows the cumulative percentage associated with each column. And it's really useful for example, identifying the impactful few, so the data section that have more impact on your data, and it follows the 80-20 principle. So now in Washington, it is available. You can add it to your dashboard and really use it to highlight what you should focus on. For the existing charts, we have a few new improvements. So now you can select a date range from the data visualization itself. So you can change the date range based on what you really want to analyze in your data. And change on the go. So this really makes your dashboard more interactive and allows you to get the insights that you need on the fly. You can also, of course, hide it, and from the 3 dots in the widget, decide to show the date range picker or to hide it. Moreover, as you may probably see from this graph, we also have forecasting. Particularly, we have data source agnostic forecasting, so available for all the data sources and time series based data visualizations. And I think it requires, and Robert can correct me if I'm wrong, the PA Premium plugin to run. But all you need to do when you build your data visualization is just to toggle on forecast option in the configuration panel, and you would have your forecast. So you can see from here that you have forecast on your data and also forecast range area shown here. Perfect. For again, our existing charts, we introduced a few enhancements, improvements for indicator scorecard that are shown here. You can now have in your indicator scorecard the possibility to see your the distribution of your indicator data among the different breakdowns by expanding your indicator here, so you can really go in depth and see the distribution of your data among all the different breakdowns. In this case, I have priority as first breakdown, and I can further go deep into the analysis and see also the distribution for category. So this is one of the few improvements for indicator scorecard chart type. Another improvement is that we introduced later score bar that you can see here, latest score bar column. So for indicator scorecard charts based on one manually selected indicator with breakdowns enabled, you would have the possibility to add this column that will really help you visualize how the data are distributed between your different breakdowns. And it definitely improves the look and feel of the chart. And one last minor thing, but still nice, you can now also add lines for columns and rows to really see the division between those columns and rows and improve again the look and feel of your indicator scorecard. One last improvement for our existing charts is for pivot table. You were already able to add multiple group bys per rows, but now you can also add multiple group bys in the columns as shown here. So this really gives a sense of the multi-level pivot table. And that's it for our existing charts. I hope I didn't forget anything. And if there are no live questions, I can go on to one last improvement.
Yeah, I think we can probably take one or two of these live. I think they're very definitely relevant to this. Let's see. Oh, that was the one I was thinking of. Okay, never mind. There was one question about insights. Are the insights only for dashboard admins, or do dashboard consumers also see the insights button? I believe that anyone who has viewing privileges should be able to get to that, right?
Yes, correct. Yep. If they have view rights to the dashboard, they will also be able to see the insights.
And there was another comment, I think, I'm not sure if it's still a question. The insights panel is there. So once you get insights and they are applicable for indicators on your dashboard, they will become visible. I don't think you can toggle them on or off per dashboard. That for some dashboards you don't want to see them, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it is actually in the dashboard. I think while I'm saying this that I'm actually wrong, and I think on a dashboard level you can toggle insights off. But Marta, you might know.
On the dashboard level, you can toggle the insights off. Thank you, Serena. And you can
perfect. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Configuration of the insights you want to turn off, turn on.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, I forgot to go through this part, but yes, in the if you are in editing mode and you access the dashboard settings panel, you also have a section for insights. So it's toggled on by default, if I'm not wrong, but you can toggle off or decide which descriptive analytics events you want to see or predictive analytics events. And if you want to highlight your cards by criticality. So it's here. You can customize your insight panel from the dashboard settings. Is there any other
do
question?
your last thing, or is there another question we're going to do live? Okay, go ahead, Serena.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So last but not least, in Washington release, we also introduced interactivity options for your dashboard. So your dashboard can really be interactive, and you can decide what happens upon clicking on a data visualization. So the default behavior when you click on a data visualization, and I think many of you may know already, is to navigate to the list of the data, which is working, yes. So this is the default action for your data visualizations in Platform Analytics dashboards. But now you can also change that behavior, meaning that when you click on a data visualization, you can choose different actions to be taken. How it's configured, maybe I will quickly show before showing the result, is from the configuration panel, of course, under this chart interaction section. So you would have to scroll up, down in the configuration panel and access the chart interaction section. I already configured this data visualization, this donut to navigate to a URL I specified upon clicking, but the default behavior is go to data view, and you can change your click behavior action from here. So I will go through the different options now. One of them is, as I mentioned just now, go to URL. So you will be able to set up an external or internal URL and set up a page name. So this is all set and saved. So I can show you from here that when you hover on the chart, you will see go to my dashboard. So you would actually see what happens when clicking on the data visualization. And by clicking, I will navigate to the URL that I specified. I attached another dashboard, which is a common use case, but you can also as I said before, include an external URL as well. Another interesting feature that we have and availability of some of these features depends on chart type and the data source the data visualization is built on. In this case, this interactivity action applies filter is available for pie, donut, vertical and horizontal bar chart types, and data visualizations built on table data source and indicator data source as for now. But what you can do is simply click on the action from the configuration panel, choose this action, of course, save, exit edit mode, and what this action enables is to filter your dashboard and the other data visualizations that are built on the same data set upon clicking on specific data points. So for example, I want to filter for critical tasks, and you will see that your data visualizations are filtered for critical. So this really maybe helps people that want visual representation of the filter and makes, again, your dashboard interactive. You can analyze and get deeper insights from your data on the go by simply clicking on a data visualization. I can click again, remove the filter, and if I'm not interested in critical anymore, I can filter for task with priority high. So again, as I said before, it's really interactive and insightful, and you can get all your insights from the dashboard UI directly. One last interactivity option we included for February store release is drill down to chart. Drill down to chart is available from Visual Designer. So for now, you cannot configure drill down to chart for non-saved data visualizations, and you cannot configure it from the dashboard itself. But of course, you can use it on the runtime in a dashboard. What is it? Drill down to chart allows you to basically drill down to another chart when clicking on a selected data point. And by drilling down, the drill down chart will be also filtered by the selected data point. I can give you an example. For example, I configured this my chart, my Pareto chart, to drill down to pie chart. So I'm going to show you again. Upon clicking on a specific data point, I will drill down to this chart that I configured in Visual Designer. For example, a use case could be I want to see the task per assignment group. So I have my different assignment group, and for each assignment group, I'm also interested in knowing who was actually the assignee. So I can click on service desk and see that for service desk, main assignee was Don. He got 5, while David got 3. And we also made navigation between charts much easier with respect to Core UI solution, because you can go back by simply clicking on the go back arrow, and you will see here also that your chart is filtered by the selected data point. And again, this is how you go back to your chart, and you can also filter, of course, for other data points. Again, as I mentioned before, this really makes consuming your dashboard much more interactive and proactive. You can gather all the insights that you need from here with all the new different features that we introduced. And actually, that's all for me. I hope that you liked the demo, and maybe now we can answer a few questions.
Sure. No, it was awesome. Thank you very much, Serena. I truly appreciate the diligence in that demo. A lot of great things, and answers have been given by the other panelists. So we're rocking through those. One question that did come in as we're talking about the filters there. So the last filters that you were showing, those are at the dashboard level, correct? So if the dashboard is saved, that would affect the other users looking at that dashboard, or is that user specific?
But I missed the question.
So the filters that she was just doing that were like directly onto a visualization and things of that nature, that's specific to the dashboard, correct? Or not just the dashboard user. So if it's because it's in edit mode, if it's saved, then I'm guessing that every user that accesses that dashboard would see those same filters, or those same actions would happen with those filters, or is that specific to the user?
Yeah, if the filters are configured on a data visualization, like a stored data visualization level, it will affect for all users. If it's just on a dashboard level, it will just be for that single user. But I to be honest, I didn't see it live as I was answering a question, so maybe I'm wrong there. But
no, I think what you said is correct. So if you're not in editing mode and you're viewing a dashboard and you set filters on that dashboard, then that is specific to you and your viewing of that dashboard.
Just your consumption.
Yep. If something is created or set up in edit on those particular visualizations or whatnot, and once that's saved, then obviously every user will be affected by that. So yeah, you answered it correctly. Let's see what else. So does anybody want to touch that pivot chart question, RJ or Marta? From Vivek. With the pivot charts based on indicators, even though we can have multiple levels, essentially the 2 breakdown limit put us to use only 2 dimensions. Maybe with report-based data sources, the multiple level pivot can have multiple levels in rows and columns. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Right now, the indicators will still have the limitation of 2 levels. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
But there are way more levels, so rows and columns instead of for the table data.
Okay.
Hey, Thomas, can I quickly show the newsletter slide?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Yeah, go for
it. To get the people the chance to capture. One super quick thing. So Serena, absolutely. Thanks for all the information. It was a lot, I think, for people to consume. We created this newsletter, which is actually, if you scan the QR code or and this deck will be shared, so you can click the link here in the slide. It will actually bring you to an overview of all that information that Serena shared in a easy to consume, like 15-20 minute version, also with some videos actually in it, with some demos actually in it. So again, also nice material for you just to learn, but also if you want to maybe share with others for their enablement of what's coming with Washington. And then over to you, Thomas.
Awesome. Thank you, RJ. And with that, there is also, which you've heard probably mentioned, we do have a enablement collateral library that is in the community that shows you little short videos that are actually showing you different things that, and some of which that you've seen today. but everything around the platform analytics experience, creating visualizations, the library, how to share things, all of that sort. And we continuously are adding to those. So this here is a really great place for you to go to really ramp up your abilities inside of platform analytics as well. And we are at the top of the hour and maybe just 2 minutes beyond. So quickly, let me just share that. And then also, we talked about this a little bit ago. In 2 weeks, we're going to talk about the improved dashboard performance with dashboard caching, which is something as well that is new with Washington. So please come back in 2 weeks for that. And thank you to all. Thank you, Serena, RJ, Marta, Tara, Dan, Adam, everybody that has been on to help with this presentation, and all of the customers that have joined. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you.